Joining me now is Greg Beischer, President and CEO at Alaska Energy Metals. Great to see you again.
You too, Mark.
Here we are in a different setting. You've got some news we're going to talk about, some assay results and some other things going on. But just a quick refresher, if you could, off the top about the Nikolai project and a bit of your background in Alaska. You've been there a long time.
Yeah, I have. And in fact, I was moved by Inco, the biggest nickel mining company in the world at the time, to explore this exact spot that I've now recovered almost 30 years later. And I've been exploring in Alaska ever since that time. Spent 5 years on the Nikolai nickel project that Inco moved me up there for. And it went on to other folks, but it's come back around, and now we've acquired and put it in Alaska Energy Metals.
So you're working pretty well in the exact same area with the Nikolai project. You did a lot of the previous work yourself many years ago. And so you've recently released assay results from a couple of holes. And you said that we're discovering pretty well exactly what we thought we would. What do you mean by that?
Right. Well, years ago in the 90s, when I first explored there, our target was rich, massive sulfide ores, which I didn't find, to my disappointment, but I did drill hundreds of meters of disseminated nickel copper sulfides that at the time wouldn't have been economic, but in today's new world of metal demand could very well be economic. So we've raised the money, set out to drill holes, we drilled 8 holes on 300-meter centers to start blocking out the first resource on the project. And we did intersect what we thought, based on that historical drilling, what we thought we'd get.
Very good. Now, you're primarily looking for nickel, but you are also seeing indications of copper, cobalt, palladium, platinum, gold. So do you think, on top of the nickel, you're also looking at a sort of an emerging base metals district?
All those accessory metals are there, and they contribute to the value of the rock, but nickel carries the load. Who knows what could be found, but additional things that we could find, but we know almost for sure we've got what's probably a very large deposit of nickel with those accessories.
All right, now, so you're using the results that you're getting along with the historical data, again, that you were part of back in the day. And so do you think you can, I guess you have said you possibly can accelerate the publication of your maiden resource eventually, right?
Sure. I've been telling our investors that it'll be next March before we get all our assay results from the drilling we've just completed this summer, crunch all the numbers and come up with a maiden resource. But we, during the summer, acquired a private historical data set that included logs and assays, certificates for the historical drill holes. And some of them are clustered close enough together that we can calculate an inferred level resource in 2 different spots, actually, a few kilometers apart. And that news is imminent. And once we have these 2 resources 3 kilometers apart, it's going to be apparent to everybody that if we drill in between, it's going to join up. And so should be a very large deposit.
And lastly, Greg, you've said that there's a lot of blue sky for Alaska Energy Metals, that the stock should eventually catch up to peers. Are investors, it's a tough market as we know, but are investors starting to catch on to the story, do you think?
Yeah, people, it definitely resonates, the idea that this is Alaska nickel for the United States. You know, the country is so vulnerable. It imports 100% of the nickel that it consumes, and if it gets cut off, then the country's in real trouble. So it's necessary to develop domestic metal sources for the United States, and we've got a big part of that in this transition to more electrical energy.
Great to catch up, Greg.
Likewise, Mark. It's been a month since we last spoke. A lot's happened, but I look forward to catching up sometime soon, too.
Yeah, we'll do it down the road. Thanks, Greg. Okay, Greg Beischer, President, CEO at Alaska Energy Metals.